Darryn Peterson is going to win the Rookie of the Year in the NBA this year. And I'm going to go on the record and say this right now before the season even starts, and regardless of what AJ Debonsa does this season. Parents, the reads that I'm about to show you are the exact reads that your teenager is not being taught in their high-level AAU program, on their high school varsity team, or in their individual skill workouts. And players, if you have the skills, but you don't understand how to apply the skills in the game and you feel like you're overthinking, this is exactly why. You don't know why you're doing what you're doing. And the thing is, if nobody fixes this for you, nothing changes. Parents, you'll keep on paying for trainers while the results stay the same, and you'll be traveling to tournaments again and again and be sitting with that clueless look on your face in the stands. And players, you're going to be pissed as well because you see your parents investing the time, effort, energy, and money into your career and your development, but you can't seem to get it to click on the court. Now, for those of you who don't know, my name is Trey Mourning. I'm a former professional basketball player, both overseas and in the United States. I grew up around the game of basketball at the highest level, and now I run a company called Coach Kama. And what Coach Kama is the home for serious elite youth basketball families. We help you as parents cut through the politics and the noise of the AAU landscape and varsity politics and all these different things. And we give you as players the confidence and the IQ that you need to go out with the tools you have and succeed on the court and potentially even play at the next level. We've had players in our program get college offers already. Now let's get to the film. All right, so Darryn Peterson has already played 2 NBA Summer League games. The first game he played, he had 28 points. In the second game, he played against Cam Boozer, which I believe was the number 3 pick with the Grizzlies, and he had 25. So he's been hooping. This is him at the top of the screen. He's about to come off of a ball screen. They get the tip, and the main thing I want you to think about is the coverage, right? So at the end of the day, the coverage is extremely important. Anytime you're coming down off of a ball screen, if you're the primary ball handler, you have to think about the coverage. Also, it doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with you if you're in the weak side corner, things like that, maybe in terms of filling up and catching the ball to be able to create space on a hedge or something along the lines of that. That's when you need to know the coverages and really care about the coverages. But the guys in the corner, if you ever find yourself in this position, if you're on the wing, you're just holding space. Because if you don't hold space, you're going to screw everybody else over and take away options that the guard has, the point guard up top, or the big roll into the rim, or potentially the guy who's coming up to set the second screen or give a release in terms of the roll and replace. Now in a situation like this, we're going to look at ball screen coverages. This is a 77. What a 77 is, and I'll go back a little bit. What a 77 is a double ball screen. So anytime you'll hear this across the NBA, if somebody calls a 77, what a 77 is a double ball screen. As I said, on the top, you get the first screen right here. Usually they're lined up a lot better. I think this was delayed slightly. Delay is a completely different action, but this is delayed in terms of this guy showed up a bit late. It's a staggered, not necessarily staggered, but this guy was pretty much like a dummy screen. What's probably going to happen is this big right here is going to set a down screen on 19, coming back up to catch the ball on the replace if Darryn Peterson doesn't get downhill. But let's talk about Darryn Peterson. Roll, goes to the rim, drives. Let's go back because I was breaking down all of this. This didn't happen there. The plays for Darryn Peterson in the beginning. Usually in a lot of these, I guess, you have quick hitters at the beginning of the game. The team already knows the play, the first play they're going to, and they're not just playing, let's feel it out type basketball. They're actually trying to get to a certain read, right? And they're trying to get their best player going. The best player on the court right now is Darryn Peterson, right? So he goes downhill. The big right here, number 14, his feet are wrong. His feet should have been different. His right foot should have been high if they're in a drop coverage. I think they're in a switch potentially, but again, bad switch, bad footwork. This guy's right foot needs to be high to prevent Darryn from getting around him. If he gets around him, he's screwed, and he has a lane right here because this guy at the corner, he can't help. If he helps out the corner, Darryn has an assist and a wide open assist to this guy in the corner. So what we're thinking about, if you're a guard up top, right, there are different reads you're making off of this. Your first read, can I get to the basket, right? Can you get to the basket? Okay, you're quicker than this guy. Quick inside hand finish in order to avoid the block, and he gives a quick bucket. He goes off this game. He has 25. And right from the jump, too, his confidence is, this kid's nasty. This kid's nasty. This is why I think he's more of a dog than, he's low-key, too. I think AJ Debonsa is a dog. Don't get me wrong. But, man, I really, really think this kid is a freaking beast. Just a great block. Recovers on the play. Apologizes for the mistake. I think Kingston Flemings could have, made a bucket on the other side. He's nervous. First game. Stuff you learn when you're a pro. Same side corner. Kingston Flemings misses. They get the rebound. Darryn Peterson's already running the court. Get up on that rim. Nope. Euro. Take your time. Yeah, Kingston Flemings is nervous. I could just tell. It's his first game. He's kind of jitters and all that stuff. He'll settle in. Look how long his strides are. How long his steps are. Super patient. Knows the right reads. Euro draws the foul. I don't think he was trying to draw the foul, but I think he was just trying to avoid the contact. Guy hit him. He wasn't afraid of it and made it work. Great read. Gary, I think that's Ace Bailey in the corner potentially. Great push out in the paint. I think his pace, he's trying to get downhill every single time, which is a great thing. This is some sort of pitch back action where potentially, in my opinion, I think this is a 77. I think this is another 77. He just happens to make a read and rejects it, right? If you're able to reject the screen, sometimes this works. This is not necessarily all the time. Sometimes you actually want to go into the screen and make contact with the guy. But other times you don't necessarily want to, I guess, not that you don't necessarily want to reject. I just think in a situation like this, sometimes the screen is used to get an advantage, right? So if you want to get a proper advantage, you want to go into the screen. But right here, sometimes an advantage looks like rejecting the screen. So look at Darryn. He comes in right here. He gets a handoff and immediately goes to the basket. He gets two people coming in right here. He plays off of 2 feet. Yes, he jumps to make the pass, but it's not like he's jumping off of 1 and leaning in. He's jumping off of 2 feet. I think he does jump off of 1 low key, but he keeps it cool and jumps. Yeah, kind of jumps up instead of out, right? When you're making these passes, you got to be careful as a guard because you can't jump out. If you jump out, that's a charge, especially in the NBA. Jalen Brunson, lives in this area and uses uses charges in order to get turnovers. And I think he led the league in that last year. So makes a great pass. If you're on the weak side, this is his help. Potentially 13 can go over here and X out. This is called an X out. So what would happen is 13 would go here, and then on the recover, 15 would probably go here. That's just a professional recovery. Not everybody would do that, but the rotation, like 2 people are running there. This is not 13's help, in my opinion. 13 didn't need to be there. Darryn has 1, 2, 3 people around the ball. Somebody has to be open. And this is something I want you thinking about as well. If you're a point guard in these situations, you have to understand basketball is really math at the end of the day. And what I mean by that, you have 4 other guys with you on your team out on the court, and you have 5 other guys, right, on the defensive side. So if you're playing and you see that there is a mismatch or something along the lines happening, and you could see 2 guys who are guarding you, that means somebody else is open. If the appropriate spacing is taking place, right? And at the high school level and AAU level, there's not always the appropriate spacing. In the professional ranks in the NBA, this is in the NBA. This is, I guess, Summer League. Technically, this is the NBA. Some NBA players are here. I played in Summer League with the Miami Heat. And at the NBA level, spacing is elite, right? Spacing is so much better and allows a player who had some boogie in high school to be able to get downhill, some boogie in college, be able to get downhill and get a bucket better than they would in college because the floor is more compact, right? Also, the court in the NBA, not a lot of people know, is bigger. It's 94 feet right here. I forgot the dimensions going this way, but I know it's 94 feet on a college court. On a professional court. Some college courts are long as well, but yep. So we got this read right here. You got 3 guys going to him. Swings the ball to the corner. I don't like how number 19, I think that's Ace Bailey, how he brought the ball down. See how he caught it, brought it down, and then went back up? You should catch in a certain area and just be able to go up from that position. The more you move the ball, when you're a shooter, the more you move the ball in your shot, the more room for error there is. But if you catch here and you're able to just go straight up in one motion, you have a higher chance of being able to make that shot. That's just what I've seen across the board. And for me, I was one of the best shooters in the country at my size when I was in high school. So having one motion, being fluid, is extremely, extremely beneficial. Darryn gets the rebound here, push shot. You need a push shot if you're in the paint, honestly. I think these are so like, there's so many gimmies here. And what I mean by that is like, it's just such an easy bucket to get. So these are my own highlights, right? This is me playing in New Zealand. This is the most recent season I was playing professionally. I was overseas. And I'm 33, shot fake in the paint, quick little push shot, floater. These shots, I'm telling you, help so much. I think I have other plays when I make these shots. This might be a pick and pop three. Nope. Look, floater, quick, super simple bucket, going to the basket, just up and over the top. It does not have to be rocket science. Popping back, that's a three that I hit. But I'm telling you, a quick push shot in the paint goes a long way because you're going to get these rebounds as a guard. And how many times can you think of getting rebounds like that as a guard and you feel like you're in an in-between space where you're too close to be able to shoot your jumper and you are too far away to shoot, you know, your layup. So you got to figure like something in between. If you use your regular jump shot, if you don't have a jump shot with a very high elbow like Dirk and a very high release, you're probably going to, you know, miss that shot. Dirk shot that way and he would go up and over the ball with his hand like this. You can't really see because it gets cut off in the screen. But Dirk will go up and over the ball this way so he can manipulate it. He could shoot it high. Dirk didn't have a lot of spin on his ball when he shot. You'll notice that if you watch his film. But no, if you find yourself in that weird area, you got to develop a push shot. My general rule of thumb is all guards should have that package, even bigs in that area. Because sometimes you don't want to go in and create contact. Not that I'm trying to avoid contact, but it's kind of like Jokic does that extremely well. It's like, why would I bang with the other bigs down there when I could just catch the ball and shoot a push shot and be good? 2 points is 2 points. You don't have to be, super physical about it. I do believe in contact. You got to make a lot of contact in the post, but don't make contact just for contact's sake within this situation. Quick push shot. And it's a way to get points too, because think about how many times you miss that shot in a game or be in that situation in a game and you're like, damn, what do I do? I don't know what to do. Shoot a push shot. Pushes in transition, does a great job. His handle's great. He's aggressive. I just love the way he gets downhill. I think AJ takes his time. Not that he takes his time too much. AJ, in my opinion, doesn't... AJ doesn't drive as much as Darryn, from what I'm seeing. Both are getting to the rack, sure. But I think, man, Darryn has it all. Tough step back. It's just ISO ball at the top. We're playing ones. That's cold. What was the time and score? 9 on the clock. He's just getting to work. Nice drags to be able to set up, okay, what are you going to do? Come back. James Harden used to do that. James Harden is one of my favorite players. I got to do a breakdown on him. Bucket. Yeah, and it was a switch too. 20 is not used to playing. 20 is a big. I think they got a switch. Let's see where the mismatches are on the court. Yeah, you look. They probably set a ball screen before this. So in my program, we talk a lot about advantages. In our program, the varsity performance system, all the players are taught about advantages, right? There's 3 different advantages that we have. 4, really, if you want to throw in a shooting advantage. You have a physical advantage, you have a horizontal advantage, you have a vertical advantage, and then you have a shooting advantage, right? You have an advantage because they have to guard you past a certain point because you're able to shoot, right? A physical advantage is I'm stronger than you. A vertical advantage is I jump higher than you and I'm taller than you, right? Bigger than you. And then a horizontal advantage is I'm quicker than you, right? You got to think about the advantages that Darryn has on this guy. So Darryn can shoot the ball. So this guy has to guard him out here. This isn't Giannis. Granted, Giannis can knock this shot down now, not at a super high clip, but you all get what I mean. This guy has to come up here and play defense on Darryn. Darryn's also quicker than this guy. So since he's quicker than him, number 20 can't press him a lot. If he presses him a whole lot, Darryn's just going to blow by him. We already saw pretty much all his other buckets were at the rim, right? Aside from that push shot in the paint. So He can knock down this three. I think this is Ace Bailey. I think it is. Ace came in here. He already set this screen. You look at Kingston Fleming's, who probably was guarding him before, Darryn Peterson. They got a switch on this. That's how they're playing it. And as soon as you get a switch, you get an advantage, right? You set screens in order to get an advantage. An advantage in this situation is, okay, do I have one of the four advantages? Yes, if that's the answer, chances are go to work, right? If it makes sense. Granted, if you have a vertical advantage all the way out here, it's not really helpful that I have a vertical advantage out here, unless you're Wemby. But Wemby still has to have a shooting advantage on somebody in order to shoot out here, right? So at the rim, throw the ball up if they're taller than you, things like that. Quicker, blow by him outside. That's a horizontal advantage. So on and so forth. You get the gist. Yeah, smooth, man. All right, so let's make this read together. So this is a nice action. It's a rip screen in order to get him open. Technically, it's not an Iverson cut all the way, but it's a rip screen in order to get him open, Iverson-ish. Iverson cut. Allen Iverson used to run this cut. There used to be this double screen that happened at the top. There used to be a guy in the corner and a guy here, and then two people here. Allen Iverson used to run over the top, and then the guard up top would throw Allen the ball, and then the opposite big would get a screen from this big, and then set a screen. That would be able to create an advantage from the screener's perspective as well, so that his help guy is late and Allen can be able to get downhill, right? So we see the big come over here and set this screen. Kingston Flemings goes under, right, which you shouldn't do against a shooter, right? So that's on him. And then 14 doesn't apply any pressure, right? He sits back. If you're a guard and you come off of this and you know you have a shot, shoot the ball, right? I tell a lot of guards in my program, and I'll watch their own film. So the same way I'm breaking down Darryn Peterson's film in our program, I'm breaking down the film of the guards and the other players that not every player is a guard, but a lot of them are, of the guards that I'm working with. By the way, I have a free resource at the bottom of this video for parents and for players. Go ahead and click that link. It's the post-game car ride framework. And what that is essentially the tools that you need to have in order to have a less awkward post-game car ride conversation. I promise you, once you fix some of those dynamics, it's going to get a lot easier. And both you as a parent and you as a player are going to feel like you're playing on the same team on that car ride home. Because I know it affects not just the house, not just the car ride. I know it affects the house. I know it affects the week. I work with over 50 families in this program so far in the varsity performance system. So I know the issues that you have, and that is a resource that all the families in the community have, and they swear by it. So go ahead and click that link, fill in your information, parents and players, and I'll go ahead and send you some other helpful information as well. All right, so what I was saying here in terms of Darryn Peterson, he notices that Kingston Flemings goes under the screen, right? And he notices that 14 is far off. Just shoot the ball. You're open. A lot of times you're open before you even know it. I'll see some high school players take another dribble and be like, all right, I need to, they realize here that they're open. And instead of shooting it, they take another dribble and maybe a side step and like a step. I'm like, bro, you're open now, right? Even if you catch the ball out here, if this is your range and they go under the screen or they're sagging off of you, you're open. Shoot the ball when you're open. It's not that deep. Like, shoot the ball if you're open. If you can see, if you have an opening, shoot it. Okay. All right, he's on defense. This is a rip screen to try to get an action for this big. What's going to happen is the guard up top is going to go off of another screen on 13 more than likely to try to get a shot in the corner. So this is what we call a screen the screener action, okay? So this is a switch. Darryn gets there. Ace, I think this is Ace. Is that Ace? Yeah, Ace takes this guy. What it should be is a double switch in this situation right here. I think number 6 you should just take here. Ace should stay low. Ace gets it, passes it to Darryn. He has great anticipation. He's going to get up on that rim too. Yeah, he's a freak athlete. He's going to catch some bodies this year. He's just a smart player. He plays well. He's always in attack mode from what I see. He's not super skinny. He's strong enough. That was a great play by Ace, by the way. Look how Ace taps the ball to him, right? does a great job. That's great basketball, very smart basketball. Darren's strong enough, and I'm sure he is strong. He's probably like very wiry strong. But no, put on more size too. Like, dude's going to be a freaking problem. God willing, he stays healthy, is going to be a problem. Great move. Just look at spacing on the court. I talk about press breaks all the time. You don't really see a lot of press breaks in the pros just because like players can handle the ball at a very proficient clip. Like there's nobody ever press breaking Kyrie Irving. Like it's just kind of silly to press Kyrie Irving because he's going to either pass through it or dribble through it. We all saw that video of him playing against the USA team and doing all those moves. So what I'm talking about in terms of spacing, like you got two on the ball right here, not on the ball, but two going to the guy who's coming up top, and Darryn brings a guy high. There's an opening over the top. He gets his pass, and he's off to the races. Throws a lob, bucket. Another thing, in terms of lobs, if you're a big, you need to get into appropriate spacing. The reason this lob works is because the big is over here. This is an area that we call the bird box, right? See how the big started from out here? He didn't start from underneath the rim. Start from out here, get your momentum. You see the pass is coming. As soon as the big steps up defensively, you got a free lob to the rim, right? This area is called the bird box. It's on this side too. This side and then this side. It's the short corner of the bird box. In the Miami Heat organization, they call it the bird box because Chris Anderson, Birdman, used to make a living out of this position when he went on those runs with the Miami Heat. He was I think it was a playoff series or playoffs where he shot like 90-something% from the field from the playoffs because he would make a living in that area. All right, so this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about in terms of the bird box, right? You see Chris Anderson, he's in the short corner here. The bird box slides along here, gets a bucket, and one. Tough finish. Super simple stuff. That's why it's called the bird box. And there's different things that you could do as a big, like you could slide. So essentially you want to mirror the ball, right? You want to be behind the defense. The reason you want to be in this area is because you're able to see everything. You're able to get behind the defense and it creates the appropriate spacing. Now, in today's NBA, Chris Anderson, if you're not a Chris Anderson type player, you're going to be a shooter, right? If you can't slide and get a bucket like this, you have to be able to knock down a corner three. That's the appropriate spacing there. But if you're playing with a big, you know, sometimes I'll want Embiid in the corner, but other times I'll probably just want him here in the short corner. Granted, he's not going to get up on the rim. The guy I can think of, let's think of Jarrett Allen, right? Jarrett Allen, I don't necessarily want all the way out here on the three-point line. I want him down here in the bird box in the short corner, sliding along, catching a pass, and being able to get a finish that way. All right, so let's take a look at this quick one with Jarrett Allen while we're at it. This kind of goes to my point earlier. There's something that I saw in this film that I wanted to share. So look at this. This is the push shot that I'm talking about. You don't need to go to the rim and create a bunch of just shoot the push shot in the paint. It's a very, very efficient and very valuable shot to have if you're big, if you're a guard, whoever. Jared does a great job getting up on the rim. A lot of these are screen and rolls. All right, so back to this play. Lob right here. Darryn Peterson makes the assist. If you're big, get into that space, get into the bird box, good things will happen. You can even catch, if you're not getting up on the rim, you can even catch and shoot a push shot from there. It's really, really efficient. This is another lob more than likely. No, it's not. It's a bucket at the rim. He attacks so well. All right, let's see this. Does a good job, pushes the guy into the screen who's guarding him. Tough finish at the rim, attacks the big. You want to go through a big's chest because when they have a vertical advantage, they're going to try to block you, you know, at their peak. So a lot of players used to go into my dad's chest, right? Go into my dad's chest and then bounce off and be able to get a bucket that way. He's just so crafty. He snakes really well and just slithers through the defense. Another one right here. Let's check this out. They switch, but it's a late switch. Actually, they don't switch. They think they're switching. This is why communication is so important, right? See, number 20, number 12, they're not really talking about what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Granted, this is like size. So this guy and this guy, Darryn Peterson and this guy are pretty much the same size. So what you want to do defensively is switch that, unless the coach has told you something else for some other reason. But you want to switch it, and they don't. They think they are, and they're late on that. Darryn gets a bucket, especially in a situation like this, 4-point game. You can't have hiccups like that. That costs you a game, especially in the NBA. And believe it or not, it still happens in the NBA too. High ball screen. Look how high this ball screen is. It gives the shooter the opportunity, gives the guard the opportunity to come down and shoot a three and also get to the basket. If the ball screen happened right here, they're shooting a long two, and we're missing out on a point if they do make a shot. Very, very tough shot. I knew this game would go in overtime. I figured because he has 25, and there's still time left in the video. Yeah, I want to break this down again. Very high ball screen right here. This is the action that I was talking about before, right? Remember I was talking about the Iverson screen where one player would screen the other player and they wouldn't be in the action. They'd be the screeners, right? So this type of action happens so that 14 and 60 have more space in between one another, and 14 is now behind the play and can't help as much, right? See how much distance is in between them now? If he just ran up, he could stay closer. I still think his foot needs to be high. He doesn't need to be here. His left hand needs to be on 60's left hip, to be quite honest with you, or just right around there. I don't think it needs to be that high, but he needs to be around there. And he's too far center. He needs to be shifted over more to the right. I'd rather Darryn Peterson go back this way than go this way, to be quite honest with you, because we end up with a switch, and 14 is not used to guarding him out there. Darryn Peterson hits a tough shot. Very, very tough shot. Yeah, tough one. Gets a bucket, though. Yeah, this kid's a killer. Tonight, he's actually playing against AJ Devonta. I'll probably do a breakdown there, but he's killing it right now. Yep, finishes the game with 25. Let's go to the next one. Sorry, that last one he had 28. This one he had 25 and 12. So let's see this. This is against, let me slow this down. This is against Cam Boozer and the Grizzlies. All right, let's see what they do. This is actually great. I love what 20 is. He's up to the touch, right? This is kind of what I was talking about before. Left hand on the, left hip of number 60. He's up there to the touch. It's great. Thing is, you got to not necessarily be attached so much. Like, you got to stab, right? You have to be an offense. I like playing offense on defense, right? It's never just, okay, let me sit here and wait. No, it's aggressive. I'm trying to make you do something, right? It's never, okay, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do this. No, that's passive. It's aggressive. It has to be, I want you to do this. So you got to figure out what you want Darryn Peterson to do. It's definitely not get downhill. So I want him to shoot contested twos. That's how I would play him. I live for contested twos. If he hits contested twos all night long, I'm happy. I'll live with the result, right? Great positioning, but you just got to stab more if you're number 20. Does a good job. He gets back, right? And it's not all necessarily you to get back here. You got to have your help guys stand this guy up, make your job easier, right? If you're number 20. So guard gets back in front. I just think he got too low. You could have stabbed more if you were big. Let's see how number 10 gets back in front. I don't like the right foot stepping first. I like the left foot stepping first, to be quite honest with you. That's how I would get over the screens. That's just me. You step with the left first, you push off that, and it gives you more momentum instead of stepping with your right. You can't really push and get power from that. But essentially here, Darryn Peterson, it's a push shot in the paint. It's a push shot in the paint. It's that shot we've been talking about. It's a quick push shot in the paint. Nothing crazy. Okay, let's see what happens here. All right, in this situation here, you're in a drop. I think Booz plays it well. He plays it well, stabs. Feet could be better, but I'm not mad at it. Just kind of tough. Because, no, feet are great. I think in this situation, yeah, feet are great. 23 should just press him more, right? You got to think about this. If you're 23, push the player down more where the help already is. And think about it this way from a basketball perspective. you already have defenders in the court you already have more defenders in the court than you realize, right? What I mean by that, they can't go outside this sideline. So this sideline is technically a defender. They can't touch it. In this baseline and also the half court line, you got four defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're playing all within this space. Okay. So think outside the box. In a situation like this, I probably wouldn't blitz him. If I'm Boozer, I'll probably get back. I would actually want to see his passing ability. Can he throw this? Can he throw this pass in I think it's the 5 hole, would it be? The 5 hole between the legs and thread the needle that way. That's an elite pass. It's a great pass, and it's the right read, to be quite honest with you, if the ball appeared there. But he hits a tough one, right? I think if I'm 23, I'd crowd him more and push him down this way, to be quite honest with you. But he hits a tough one. He hits a tough one. That's even something for like 23, like probably can't be pissed at. I think in a situation like this, you got to read, okay, like if you're 23, you got to get back to yours, right? You see how he kind of goes here and then out to Darryn Peterson? You got to get back to yours. I think that could have potentially taken away this shot. That's my perspective there. I think about, because Boozer is only going to stay as long as 23 is not back. So the faster 23 gets back, that takes that away. It's a little slight hesitation there. All these things, these minor things, make a huge difference at the end of the day. He has good up the court vision from what I've seen. That's a shot nowadays in basketball, which is, yeah. All right, coming downhill. One's feet need to be better. We kind of talked about that before, but really tough finish. Let's focus on Peterson more. Granted, the screen gets slipped by 25. I don't know if Darryn Peterson realized that, but he's just trying to get downhill. We talked about this in some of the other stuff before. He's just trying to get downhill, right? He sees the small advantages. He's noticing, okay, the guy on my team, he slipped. I have a small window to be able to grab a hand and get by. Also, that's something you all could do as players now. Grab the hand and push, right? Grab, if you're going this way, push this way and have the ball in this hand. Push this way. If you're going this way, push this way with that hand, right? While you're dribbling, right? So those things can make a big difference. Kyrie does it well. That offhand stuff, it's elite. It's elite basketball. I remember when I learned that in college. I didn't do it in high school, but I learned it in college. I thought it was illegal to do, but it's not. Guys do it in the league. You might get called for it in high school if it's a bad ref, but you can still get away with it. So I would still do it in high school. All right, so you got to push me going to the point of the screen. Darryn Peterson gets, the screen is this way, right? He rejects it. The reason I want him going into the screen is because the help is naturally going to be this way, because my defense knows that, okay, granted, this guy seems ready for it. He's ready for it. I would switch, to be quite honest with you, and take that away, which they do, but they just don't communicate on the next action. Yep, they don't communicate on the next action. But good pass, super patient. Waits for the play to develop, throws a pass. We got lays. Let's see what this action is right here. Okay, this is a regular ball screen. Booz gets back. Yeah, these are shots I'm living with. He went for the steal. Not went for the steal, but he busted out up court. Great defense. I love this. Look at Boozer's feet compared to the other bigs that we talked about. Right? Stabs enough. Guy gets back. It's a hand in. Yeah, Boozer's a pro too. Tough shot by Darryn Peterson. Tough one. You just can't end the play. Like, the play ends when you get the ball. The stop happens not when you get the stop. It ends when you get the rebound or the steal. Good extra pass. Right? Was that Bailey? That wasn't Bailey, but good extra pass. In and out. Another push out in the paint. I'm not really going to break down all these dribble moves. I think there's plenty of guys on the internet to break down these dribble moves. And it's not necessarily always about the dribble move. You can only do about 5 things with the basketball. A cross between, behind, in and out. You can pound it. I guess if you want to do a hezzy too, that's 6, right? And you just add all those together. It's 6 things you can do with a basketball. Or you could do an in and out behind if you're Kyrie, but that's pretty much it. There's drills that I have that talk about that and help players with those things that I'll probably make a video about at some point, but we'll see. What action is this? This is just a get, right? And it's called it a get or an away. One guy in the middle, a big, usually will set a screen on the guy who's away right here. He'll go away from the ball, set the screen, and then Peterson's going to come to the top. See how he waits, he catches? I see so many players in high school. I actually was talking to a player in my program about this, and when he catches the ball sometimes, he puts the ball on the ground right away because he wants to make a dribble and like, okay, I'm going to dribble and like see what happens. I don't want you doing that, my friend. I want you catching the ball, right? And then from there, reading what's going to happen. Sometimes people are open and you don't need to make any dribbles. Players are on defense are going to shoot in preemptively and they don't need to be in there, but they're going to do it. And you're going to be open or be able to make a read without even putting the ball on the ground. That's how you play smart instead of just playing hard. I don't need you doing more stuff. I need you doing the right stuff. Now he dribbles, knows it's an ISO, goes and gets a bucket. Look at the footwork in the paint, that feet work. Then you shoot a turnaround jumper. I wouldn't shoot a push shot there, but you could. Either or. Never same side corner help. Never, 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 never. Never same side corner help. You shouldn't stab late. Like his foot needs to already be here. Who is he getting? Think about this. Who is he getting? Right? This guy needs to already be going out here, to be quite honest with you. If you look at the court, the person who needs the help, it's this guy right here. So if I'm here, I know that, okay, I'm getting out to the corner. I'm starting to get out to the corner right now. Take away that pass. Because it's this guy's responsibility to come over and get the block, not mine if I'm the guy in the corner. I miss playing basketball. Sometimes. But watching this, I miss playing basketball. Okay, 2 go with Darryn Peterson. As soon as you see 2 people, somebody's open. Same thing I mentioned before. Quick pass. See how he keeps it high? You see how there's not like a lot of extra movement in this big shot? I caught it here, and I'm going up. Very little dip. Look at this, compared to the other one that we saw before where the corner 3 was missed. Pop. Got it here. Very little dip. Walk up. Knock down. Good shot, big fella. There's a go screen. This is one-on-one. A go screen means that he slipped the screen. And he's just playing one-on-one from here. Yeah, he's just trying to get a bucket. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. He's feeling it. He's feeling it. A lot of this stuff is feel. Yes, you could work on drills and things like that. Hezzy, pull. You know your shots. You play basketball enough. You know how to get a bucket. He did it. 28 in the first game, 25 in the second game. Alrighty, sir. In this video, you learned exactly how Darryn Peterson plays the way he does. He had 28 in the first game, his first summer league game, and 25 in the second one, and 12 assists. Dude's a killer. This is why I think he's going to be the rookie of the year, hands down, in my opinion. And it's only the beginning for him. If you're a player, break down some of these reads, maybe go back and watch it again, maybe even take notes and understand, okay, why did he do what he did during those moments? And you'll hear my commentary throughout. Remember, if you don't understand why, you can always ask a question, send a comment, and I'll answer it below. Now, if you're a parent or a player who plays high-level elite youth basketball and you're really serious about the game, and you feel like something's missing and you're looking for that help and what you're feeling broken down in the same way, you want to get the same tips and tricks that the other 50 families in our program have, go ahead and book a call with me below. The strategy session is free. Now, if you want to stick around and watch more videos as well, that's fine. Go ahead and take a look at this one right here where I break down Bam Adebayo's historic 83-point game, why he did what he did, and how you as a player can start doing some of the same things in your game right now. I'll see you there.